Grab your popcorn and get cozy, because this Chicago saga's juicier than a Harold six-piece with mild sauce. We're talking Lil Scoom and BloodHound Lil Jeff, two rising stars in the drill scene whose stories hit harder than their beats. This one's more tragic than triumphant. Both of them punched their clocks for the last time, a month apart, leaving the streets buzzing with speculation, drama, and a whole lot of what now? Let's rewind to July 8th, 2024. Scoom's name gets etched into the city's infamous history when he met his end on 89th and Langley. Two slugs to the chest, and just like that, the drill scene lost one of its voices. The ambulance played hero, rushing him to the hospital, but life didn't play fair that day. And here's the kicker. The alleged shooter wasn't about to go quietly. Nah, this dude must have thought he was in a Netflix special because he turned the streets into an action set, exchanging shots with the police like it was open mic night at the gun range. SWAT rolled up like the Avengers, but somehow, this dude vanished into thin air. Houdini with a Glock, y'all. It's a plot so wild you couldn't script it. And if you think this is where the story ends, oh no. This is just the intermission. What happens next? BloodHound Lil Jeff's tragic encore. But we'll save that for Act 2. You thought it was over? Nah, we just getting started, fam. So, let's rewind to that fateful day Scoom met his end. Turns out, this wasn't a solo mission. Nah, Lil was right there with him, pulling up for what was supposed to be a conversation. But we all know how these street talks go down. Real quick, things escalate. 1 minute, they're chatting. Next minute, bullets are flying. Lil will caught some leg shots in the crossfire. But loyalty's a powerful thing, right? So, instead of letting himself go out like a victim, he decides to Uber his way to survival. Talk about being committed to the cause. That's a different kind of hustle, if you ask me. But hold up, there's more layers than a deep dish pizza to this drama. Scoom's mom, the one who birthed this drill soldier, got real when she started talking about the bad vibes her son felt right before it all went down. She's hinting that her boy felt the cold sting of betrayal before he even took his last breath. And you know how the streets work. Rumors fly faster than a hot summer wind. A girl named Nene gets caught up in the mess, but Mama Scoom wasn't having it. She clears Nene's name and points her finger at a so-called friend. Yeah, it's that classic story. The ones closest to you are the ones who'll set you up when the stakes get too high. But hold tight, cause this story is like a never-ending mixtape with a wild prequel. A month before Scoom's tragic exit, BloodHound Lil Jeff, remember him? The drill scene's very own Michael Jordan, was out here making noise with tracks and beefs that were louder than his bars. This dude wasn't just rapping about the streets, he was living them, got bodies to prove it, allegedly of course. Jeff's name was buzzing in the wind, and it wasn't all good. His beef with Trap City and the BKN crew made his life one long episode of the Hunger Games. Talk about walking with a target on your back. But Jeff, he didn't flinch. His status wasn't just about the drill scene. It was about making history. But when you're at the top of the game, sometimes the only thing that can bring you down is the envy of those who want to take your crown. Now, here's the kicker. The street's ruthless, and there's no pause button. While Scoom and Lil were caught up in their own mess, BloodHound Lil Jeff's clock ran out too. And just like that, the drill scene lost another one of its own. But that's the game, fam. 1 minute you're on top, next minute, you're a memory in the streets. You're always either living or dying by the code. The question is, who's next? The saga of BloodHound Lil Jeff and Lil Scoom ain't just another chapter in Chicago's drill scene. It's the whole damn book. We're talking about two young bulls who lived fast, died young, and left behind a street legacy that's already part of the city's folklore. It's not just about the music, it's about the lifestyle. And trust me, that's a whole different beast. BloodHound Lil Jeff's rap sheet? Bruh, it reads like a hitman's biography. The dude wasn't just rapping about pulling up on ops, he was doing it. Take the hit outside the high school. This wasn't some random drive-by. Jeff, and his crew weren't out there throwing shots into the air hoping to hit something. Nah, they pulled up, got out the whip, and made sure the lunchtime crowd had an impromptu lesson in street violence. The way the story goes, it was like some street version of Fast and Furious. Everything went from 0 to 100 real quick. And while other dudes might shy away from saying too much in their music, Jeff was different. The dude had the audacity to drop lyrics about his hits like he was leaving behind a paper trail for the cops. That's bold, right? Most cats keep it low-key, but not Jeff. He was out here self-snitching on his tracks like it was a flex. You know those rappers who talk about their grind and their hustle? Yeah, Jeff talked about his bodies. And with every new track, he made it clear, if you weren't with him, you were probably against him. And this killing school business? Bruh, let that sink in. Jeff was allegedly out here trying to build the street version of a business empire. He wasn't just a product of the violence around him. Nah, he was trying to mold the next generation of savages to keep the cycle going. Killing School sounds like some fictional, dark comedy, but in the world Jeff lived in, it wasn't that far-fetched. He wasn't the type to sit back and just be a bystander in his own story. Nah, my man was a character in his own real-life drama. People don't understand. You can rap about the streets all you want, but when you've lived it like Jeff did, you're more than just a rapper. You're a street historian, a legend, and a problem all rolled into one. Now let's talk about the day everything went south for Jeff. June 8th, 2024 wasn't just another day in Chicago. For Jeff, it was the day he ran out of plot armor. He and his squad allegedly rolled up in enemy territory, ready to paint the town red. But this time, the streets weren't having it. Now, when you've got a rap sheet as long as Jeff's, you know the odds are stacked against you. Every enemy you've made, every beef you've fed, it all catches up eventually. Maybe he was chasing the wrong dude. Maybe it was a setup. Or maybe, just maybe, Jeff's confidence was his downfall. Whatever it was, that final moment on June 8th was the end of his chapter. The way the streets work, no one's invincible, not even the most feared. But here's where it gets deeper. On the heels of Jeff's death, the city felt that loss. He wasn't just another rapper to be mourned for a minute and forgotten the next. Nah, his passing had ripple effects. See, Jeff wasn't just a drill artist. He was a symbol. He was a product of a culture that glorifies the hustle, the violence, and the street code that never quite gets explained to outsiders. His death wasn't just a hit. It was a message, loud and clear. That message? The streets don't care who you are. You can be the hottest rapper, the hardest hitter, the one who runs the block. In the end, it's all the same. You're just one shot away from being another name on a t-shirt. Now, throw Lil Scoom into the mix. Here's the kicker. While Jeff was out here self-snitching, building his street empire, and living like a gangster legend, Scoom was more of a ghost, sliding through the city unnoticed until it was too late. It's like Lil Scoom had the potential to be the next big thing. He was on his way up in the drill scene, but like so many before him, his rise was cut short by the street's cold embrace. July 8th, 2024 wasn't supposed to be his final day, but the streets don't care about timing. Caught up in an impromptu hit with Lil Will, Scoom found himself in the middle of a heated conversation that escalated faster than a drill track. Gunshots rang out, and Lil Will took some leg shots in the crossfire. Talk about loyalty, though. Dude had to Uber his way to survival after that. I mean, in a way, that's what the streets are all about. Ride or die, even when you're on the verge of death. It's brutal, it's raw, but that's the game they're in. And then it all comes crashing down. Scoom's final moments were as tragic as they were cinematic. Cops find him lying in the street, 2 bullets in his chest. He didn't stand a chance, not even after the heroics of the paramedics. While this drama was unfolding, the alleged shooter was playing GTA in real life, exchanging gunfire with the cops like it was no big deal. SWAT had to be called in, but by the time they arrived, The shooter had vanished in a thin air, like a ghost in the wind. But here's the thing, it wasn't just the bullets that killed Scoom, it was the betrayal. His mom even said he was getting bad vibes before his untimely demise, like he could feel the noose tightening around him. He had that gut feeling, that sixth sense that someone close to him was about to do him dirty. And of course, the rumors started flying. Some girl named Nene got dragged into it, but his mom quickly cleared her name. Instead, she pointed the finger at someone he considered a friend. Ain't that how it always goes in the streets? You trust people you think got your back, only to find out they're the ones with the knife in it. So, what does it all mean? The story of Lil Scoom and BloodHound Lil Jeff ain't just about two young stars who fell to the streets. It's about the way the streets take. You can be a king today and a memory tomorrow. You can make all the noise you want, but in the end, the streets will always have the last word. In the case of Jeff and Scoom, the streets took both of them, leaving behind a legacy, a bunch of unanswered questions, and a city full of people who'll never forget their names. But that's just the way it is in Chicago Chronicles. And trust, the drama's never over. That concludes today's video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you're alerted whenever a new video drops. It's completely free and helps out the channel tremendously. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.